It's 10 things you didn't know about the album Hotel California, released December 8th, 1976. I'm John Beaudin.
Number 1, the title track was supposed to be called Mexican Reggae. The origin of the song began when guitarist Don Felder rented a beach house in Malibu. The inspiration came to him when he was sitting on the couch one day and strumming his 12-string acoustic guitar. After playing some chords, he immediately reached for his 4-track tape recorder and captured it, then even adding some bass and a drum machine overdub for emphasis. When the Eagles reconvened in the spring of 1976 to work on their 5th album, Felder let his band members listen to all his recordings. The reggae-like song was one they decided to work on. The demo Felder had made for Hotel California showed a lot of influence from Latin and reggae, and it grabbed the attention of lead vocalist drummer Don Henley. He said he liked the song, thought it sounded Mexican reggae or bolero. It's at that point they gave it the working title Mexican Reggae. Number 2, when it came time to record Hotel California, Don Felder forgot what he had written. At that point, it'd been more than a year since Don Felder had recorded that initial demo tape. And when the Eagles went into Criteria Studios in Miami, Felder couldn't remember what he had written. When he and Joe Walsh began to work on that extended guitar fade, Don Henley thought there was something missing. Joe and I started jamming, Don said. No, stop. It's not right, Felder told the Music Radar in 2012. I said, what do you mean it's not right? And he said, no, you've got to play it just like the demo. Only problem was, I did the demo earlier. I couldn't even remember what was on it. The demo tape was on the other end of the country in Los Angeles. So we had to call the housekeeper in Malibu, who took the cassette, put it on the blaster, and played it over the phone, Felder remembers. And from there, they continued working on the song, with satisfactory results. It was close enough to the demo to make Don happy, he said. Number 3, a lyric from the title track Hotel California made a reference to the band Steely Dan. Steely Dan's 1976 project, The Royal Scam, included the song Everything You Did, which made a reference to the Eagles. According to Glenn Frey's liner notes, for the very best of, the use of the word steely in the lyric, they stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast, was a playful nod to Steely Dan, who had included the lyric, turn up the Eagles, the neighbors are listening, in their song, Everything You Did. Frey had also said that the writing of the song was inspired by the boldness of Steely Dan's lyrics and its willingness to go out there, and thought that the song they wrote had achieved perfect ambiguity. Apparently, Walter Becker's girlfriend loves the Eagles, and she played them all the time. I think it drove him nuts, Frey said. So the story goes that they were having a fight one day, and that was the genesis of the line. Given that the two bands shared a manager with Irving Azoff, and that the Eagles proclaimed their admiration for Steely Dan, this was more friendly rivalry than feud. Jethro Tull's Ian Anderson thought that Hotel California sounded like one of his own songs. After hearing Hotel California for the first time, Jethro Tull's multi-instrumentalist Ian Anderson thought the song sounded very familiar and believed that it sounded like one of his own compositions, We Used to Know, from Jethro Tull's 1969 album, Stand Up. Another coincidence was that the Eagles and Jethro Tull had toured together in 1972. In an interview with Songfacts, Anderson said maybe it was something that they kind of picked up subconsciously and introduced that chord sequence into their famous song Hotel California sometime later. The problem with that was Don Felder, one of the composers of the song, didn't officially join the Eagles until 1974, so he wasn't on that tour in 72. And Felder himself later denied having ever heard the song We Used to Know. In a 2016 interview, Anderson stated that the chord progression had likely been used in earlier songs, and called Hotel California a much better song than his We Used to Know. Don Felder was originally supposed to be the lead vocalist for the song Victim of Love. Felder was an important contributor to Hotel California, the album. Besides the title track, he also co-wrote the song Victim of Love with Henley and lead vocalist guitarist Glenn Frey, as well as singer-songwriter and musician J.D. Souther. We were trying to head to a heavier direction, away from country rock. So I wrote 16 or 17 song ideas, kind of more in a rock and roll direction, and Victim of Love was one of those songs, Felder told Songfacts. I remember we went into the studio and recorded it live with 5 guys playing. The only thing that wasn't played live was the lead vocal and harmony, and the choruses. Felder initially provided the lead vocals on the songs, but his bandmates didn't like the results. Don Felder, for all his talents as a guitar player, was not really a main singer in the Eagles. Fry said in the history of the Eagles TV special. In fact, his only lead vocals was on one of these nights with the song Visions. So when Felder's vocals didn't measure up to the band's standards, they broke the news to him that Don Henley was going to be the singer. The Eagles' success allowed them to encourage in and enjoy all the perks of being a rock star, with the illicit stuff being a large part of that. One of the standout tracks on Hotel California was inspired by Glenn Frey's harrowing car ride one night with a drug dealer. He says, "I was riding shotgun in a Corvette on a way to a poker game," he recalls in the 2013 documentary The History of the Eagles. "The next thing I know, we're doing 90, holding big time. I say, 'Hey man,' he grins and goes, 'Life in the Fast Lane.' I thought, now there's a song title." Holding on to that idea for months, Fry heard Joe Walsh playing a hard-hitting riff during a band rehearsal one day, and it stopped him in his tracks. He asked Walsh to play it again, and from there the song began to take root. When the final track was completed, Fry realized how his experience with the drug dealer had made him so uncomfortable. "I could hardly listen to Life in the Fast Lane when we were recording it because I was getting high a lot of the time and the song made me ill," he told Rolling Stone in 1979. "We were trying to paint a picture that cocaine wasn't that great. It turns on you. It messed up my back muscles. It messed up my nerves. It messed up my stomach and made me paranoid." Number 7. While recording the album at Criteria Studios in Miami, Black Sabbath were recording their album Technical Ecstasy in an adjacent studio, causing a lot of noise that was disrupted to the Eagles. The Eagles' 5th album was overseen by veteran producer Bill Szymczyk, who had worked with the band on their previous album, One of These Nights. Szymczyk, however, had one condition, that they record at Miami's legendary Criteria Studios, instead of the band's standard base at LA's record plant. Szymczyk, who was paranoid about earthquakes and insisted on recording away from LA, made a compromise with the band to split time between both favored studios. During the sessions, the band was forced to stop recording on numerous occasions because of the studio next door, blaring out heavy metal music from Black Sabbath, who were so loud that the sound was coming through the walls. "The Eagles were recording next door, but we were too loud for them," Black Sabbath lead guitarist Tony Iommi told Uncut in 2014. "It kept coming through the walls into their sessions. So much so that the album's classic delicate ballad, The Last Resort, had to be recorded multiple times due to the noise of Black Sabbath." Number 8. Don Henley brought his own mattress to each hotel during the Hotel California tour. The grueling business of touring can take a toll on a rock and roller, so it's no surprise that some may take extreme measures to find some sense of comfort while on the road. Joe Barry, the Eagles' head electrician, recalls Don Henley's special request for the Hotel California tour. He insisted on having a king-size bed and mattress available at all times, which the crew had to drag around everywhere, he told Mark Elliott in To the Limit, the untold story of the Eagles. The tour seamstress made a special cover for it, with handles to make it easier to pack. It was Don's bed. It went everywhere. Henley defended this necessity for his personal comfort due to excruciating back pain exacerbated by a nightly performance. "I used to have to hold my body in such a position that my spine got out of alignment," he explained to Modern Drummer. "Between playing drums and keeping my mouth in front of the microphone, it really twisted my whole body. I got to a point in the 70s where I literally could not sleep." Unfortunately, the hotels were less sympathetic to Henley's bad back, as none of them would allow the mattress he brought into the hotels. So it was never used. Number 9. To shoot the album cover for Hotel California, the Eagles enlisted the services of British art director Kosh, a.k.a. John Kosh, a man responsible for the Beatles' Abbey Road album cover and the Who's Next, Rolling Stones' Get Your Ya-Ya's Out, and many others. Kosh listened to a rough version of the album's title track and recalled this in a 2007 interview with Rock and Roll Report. "Don wanted me to portray the Hotel California and portray it with a slightly sinister edge." While scouting different locations with photographer David Alexander, Kosh assembled a short list of suitable venues, then quickly narrowed it down to his favorite, the Beverly Hills Hotel on Sunset Boulevard. His goal was to later erase all traces of the bright and beautiful qualities of the hotel, which proved to be a technical challenge. To get the picture perfect, David and I had to perch nervously atop a 60-foot cherry picker, dangling over Sunset Boulevard in rush hour, shooting blindly into the sun, Kosh said. Both of us brought Nikons up into the basket, and we took turns shooting, ducking, and reloading. We used high-speed film as the light began to fade, and the film gave us remarkable graininess for the final shoot. The chosen shot, captured at the remarkable golden hour just before sunset, thus would become one of the most recognizable album covers in rock and roll history. At first, the hotel in the picture was not easily recognized as the famous Beverly Hills Hotel, but when word finally did spread of the building's identity, the hotel representatives were not too pleased and threatened to sue, threatening a cease and desist action, which later were dropped. As sales of the Hotel California went through the roof, it was gently pointed out that this was great free publicity. Number 10, the Eagles didn't attend the Grammy Awards and instead watched their win from a band rehearsal. At the Grammy Awards in February 1978, the Eagles received several nominations, including the prestigious Record of the Year for Hotel California. But Eagles manager Irving Azoff didn't want any part of it and was unwilling to subject the band to any kind of PR humiliation, as their image had taken a beating in the music press despite the album's incredible sales. Azoff suggested hiding the band in a secret dressing room, where they would emerge only if they were to win the award and their name was called. The scheme, of course, was rejected. The Eagles ultimately won the award, but with nobody there to accept it for them. Azoff quickly released a statement saying that the band was in Miami working on their new album, ending the statement with a dismissive, "That's the future, this is the past." The band then watched their win from the studio during their rehearsal. But if they were disappointed that they couldn't accept the award in person, they certainly didn't show it. As Henley told the Los Angeles Times, the whole idea of a contest to see who is best just doesn't appeal to us.
One of the greatest albums of all time. I hope you enjoyed that. We also have an interview with Randy Meisner, Bernie Leadon, both of the Eagles, of course, Jack Temchin, who recorded many songs with Glenn Frey, solo and in the Eagles, and Alan Frey, Glenn's brother. Check the links in the description. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos, and buy a t-shirt. Help support this channel.